and we bring our conversations to a close. I think I'm becoming fixated with this mic. So, as we come and settle ourselves for the rest of our evening together, I would like to introduce to you Susan Slotnick, who will introduce the gentleman and the dance troupe. And can I say that I literally met Susan 2 days ago over the phone. She is the choreographer of the dancers both inside of Sing Sing as well as a choreographer within the community that she lives in upstate. And when I spoke to Susan on the phone, our spirits immediately connected because she had so much love and so much passion and compassion for her relationship with the men and what she was doing. And she drove these 2.5 hours because one of the young men just recently got out and she wanted to surprise him. And when I saw them see each other for the first time since he had been inside and just saw this amazing love and connection, I'm about to just choke up now. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you. And Susan will tell us about the work they do.
Nothing happens because one person made it happen. So I represent rehabilitation through the arts. I think tomorrow, Catherine Vokins, who's the director, and was open-minded enough to see the possibilities for modern dance in a men's prison, will be here tomorrow. We have our music presenter from Rehabilitation Through the Arts, Joanne Still, who's teaching music theory and all kinds of wonderful things. But just to introduce the group for tonight, about 15 years ago, I went into Highland Division for Youth Prison to teach modern dance, and the program went over very big. And because of things that happen in the bureaucracy, and because not every place has the soil for the arts to grow in a prison, that program was dropped, and I was dropped along with it. We're all volunteers, by the way. There's no funding for us directly. And then I met Catherine Vokins, who you will meet tomorrow, and I said, I want to go to the grown-up guys' prison. It's the same population 20 years later. I know I can make it work. And so I taught for 7, almost 8 years in Woodburn Correctional, not Ossining, and I trained them, really trained them. It wasn't, pliés and tendus and stretching and jumping. And they worked and they worked and they worked. And of course, without them, I can't do anything. And then lo and behold, they achieved their freedom and they started their own dance company as free men. I have nothing to do with their dance company other than the joy of being present at this moment. They own the choreography inside and out. They're ready to do their own choreography. They've performed at Vassar College. They've performed at John Jay, I think, yes. They performed at Columbia University. They've performed at Fordham University. They've performed twice and are about to perform the third time at the National Museum of Dance in Saratoga Springs. And they are performing with my outside company in a very special event, which I'm not going to take up time to tell you about because it would take me too long. I want to introduce you to the man who made it all possible. He decided that the dream of continuing to dance on the outside was something he was going to make happen. Not easy. Not easy to get parole permission. Not easy to get travel passes. But this is a person who turns over every stone every day. And a very dear friend of mine, I consider him a member of my family, Andre Noel. Why don't you, he's the director. And if you see me grabbing these guys all the time, it's not that I'm an old lech. What it is we are not allowed to touch them inside. And that is an extremely painful, dehumanizing experience. So when I see them on the outside, I can't get enough of just having the freedom to be able to connect in a human way. I think we need to start the performance now. So do you want to introduce the other guys? Or?
Yes, I do. I wasn't just the only one that made this possible. Without the rest of the guys, none of this would have been happening, because although I could dance by myself, but I'd rather dance with a community. I'd rather dance with my friends, and everybody that I've danced with inside and outside is just a beautiful thing. And I really have to introduce my comrades, my brothers, Figures in Flight released. And the individual who just came home about, actually October 1st, today's what, the 18th, like 17 days ago, his name is Flex. This guy has been anxious to come out here and dance. And you're gonna see why. I don't want to take too much of your time. We came here to dance, not to talk. We could talk afterwards. If you need to learn a lot about us, then there's Facebook, Figures in Flight released on Facebook, or we'll just exchange information. But right now, we need to show you guys how much love that we have for each other, how much love that we have for the community, and how much passion that we have that we're able to be out here to dance. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Be grateful. Be grateful. Because there's someone else that loved to be in your shoes. Be grateful. My God said it never forsake you. Be grateful. God said it would never forsake you. Be
Hello. I just want him to have a chance to catch his breath, so I'm going to introduce the next dance. I think that was the first dance we did in the prison. Andre, was that the first one? Signature piece, right? This next dance was choreographed for Andre Noel when he first got out. Oh, no, we're doing a different one. This was choreographed for this gentleman who just got out, what was it, 17 days ago? And it was choreographed personally for his story, for the story of his life, for what I knew about him, and for his style of movement. Are you ready?
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. And sometimes I feel like a motherless child alone, a long way from home. Whoa. Now sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. And sometimes I feel, yeah, like I'm all alone, alone. I need to cry. I feel restless and I don't know why. I cry for help but still feel alone, like a motherless child a long way from home. Lord, I'm lost, I can't find my way. I'm dealing with the struggles in my day-to-day. My soul is weak and I want to be strong. I try to run away, but I've been running too long. Yeah, yeah, I've been running too long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been running too long. Hey, who's got the shoulder when I need to cry? I feel restless and I don't know why. I cry for help but still feel alone, like a motherless child a long way from home. Lord, I'm lost, I can't find my way. I'm dealing with the struggles in my day-to-day. My soul is weak and I want to be strong. Try to run away, but I've been running too long. Like a motherless child, like a motherless child, like a motherless child, yeah, like a motherless child, so lost and so alone, like a motherless child. Like a motherless child, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a motherless child.
I hope you're surprised, because I have to tell you, the first time I went in and saw these men move 13 years ago, it was the surprise of my entire career. And what that taught me is stay in touch with the mystery. Stay in touch with the mystery, because we're the ones that put the limitations on people. So I think that was amazing. Flex, you know, you're going to ask me in a minute what I thought about it. I've seen you do it about 24 times, maybe 3. That was the best you ever did it. Okay, I'll get over it, but I don't know when. And the next performer is Andre Noel. This is a piece, it's the... Oh, you're not doing your solo? Okay, make sure you hire them again so you can see the third piece. Come out and take another bow, gentlemen. I didn't know that was the end.
The third piece is a surprise. Do we still have a little bit more time, being that I didn't do the third piece? Yes? Thank you. Right now, since usually I do a lot of dancing, as you can see, so I don't like talking after performance, so I have a spokesperson for that. That will be Ray Brito.
I hate microphones, I'm sorry. It's just weird. All right, my name is Ray Brito. First and foremost, let me thank everybody for coming out and the energy that you gave us. Believe it or not, it's not easy to get on the stage and move around. But the energy that we got from you guys was marvelous and made it pretty enjoyable. That said, Figures in Flight Release Company, what can I say that hasn't been said? Yeah. No, seriously, we do. Well, there's a lot that I could say, but I don't want to take your time up with like I don't know, composed ideas about what we are, et cetera, et cetera. I would actually like to converse with you, because I know you guys probably have a lot of questions. So if you can, just like one or two, I can answer your questions and that'll get it going. We can break the ice. My name's Ray. How you doing? Any questions? Okay, so I saw like one hand here, one there, and one there. So I'll start with the first one. Yes, sir? Yeah, you. Okay, that's a big one. But thank you. Actually, we've discussed this. That question is asked often. We've discussed it, and maybe for each of us it varies a little bit. But I would say that at the core of all of our experiences was a willingness to really like challenge ourselves. Many of us have been incarcerated from our early to later teens. We're all in our 30s now. So we're talking about 2 decades or so of incarceration. In that time, we had all, at some point or another, began a search to what they call reform ourselves. We rather think of, like rebuild ourselves, whatever you want to call it, but just to better ourselves as human beings. Everything that I experienced, to personalize it, such as vocational courses that are going to help me get a job when I come home. Yeah, okay. Educational courses, higher education, which was actually very good and opened up my intellect, but nothing really fed my spirit. Nothing really fed my soul, so to speak. So I constructed myself to be this kind of individual, but it was sort of a hollow individual because it was strong outside or whatever, but on the inside, the spirit was empty. Oh, see, weird. The spirit was empty. There was nothing really holding everything I had picked up and put together, holding it together, until I found art and dance. And thank you, I love you. And by far, dance is the most influential experience that I had while incarcerated. So I hope that kind of answers a little bit. Thank you. Whoa. I don't.
Any more questions?
There was another question from this young lady. I definitely saw her like half shoot her hand out and was like, should I not?
Tell us again, if we want to book you, support you, how do we get in contact with you?
Well, the first option is Facebook. We're on Facebook. We have a page titled Figures in Flight Released, right? You see it. So our page is always open. We take messages, we answer. Sometimes we might take a day to answer you back or so. We all got jobs, like everybody, but we will get back to you. So I guess that's the most accessible. We also, you have any business cards with you? Sorry, but Facebook is definitely available to everybody. That was it. Okay, thank you. I saw something over, no, really? You're gonna back out now? I saw some of this earlier. Okay, any other questions? Yes.
Do you have problems in terms of the fact that dancing in the prison is seen as something feminized?
You're not gonna talk into my shirt, so you better just. No.
difference between prison and the room that we dance in. Initially, if you walk in the hallway, you see guys doing plies and doing all different types of
Twinkle
dance
toes.
routines or exercises. You think this is like a normal environment inside that prison, inside the room. While people out there, prisoners out there are walking. So now, that's how I felt at one point. And then when I got inside the room, when I started dancing, the prison was the abnormal environment.
Yeah.
And it was so
Yes.
surreal. Yeah, it was so surreal at that point, and I realized that this is where I belong. As all the brothers expressed, challenging masculinity. Yeah, we had some issues with guys, friends, talking about, oh, you a sissy, where's your
Twinkle toes.
Twinkle toes, all different types of stuff. We kind of felt it, because we know we're heterosexual men, and none of that stuff is really supposed to bother us, but at the same time, when somebody calls you names, of course, you're going to feel a certain way about it. But we were a community, so we were each other's support. And we all decided to get into this together, no matter what. And then we started getting a lot of people interested in the dance program after we did performances. So it changed everything. We do like big performances inside a gymnasium where guys literally just flood the gym to watch us dance. And every time we finish a performance, they always ask, well, where can I sign up to join this group? Because I know something phenomenal is going on in here. And I was like, yes, something very beautiful is going on in there.
You know what the most interesting part about what he's saying of the performances and filling up a gymnasium of hardened, he said an audience. I want to describe the audience. We're talking about a gymnasium of about upwards of 200, 300 hardened, convicted felons. Violent crimes, drug crimes, you name it, they were there. If you've ever studied oppressed people, you come to learn that a lot of times the oppressed learn to oppress others. They in turn oppress others when they have an opportunity, perhaps out of misery or they learned behavior. I'm not going to get into why, but that does happen. Prison is no exception. If anything, it's acceptable to do that kind of thing, to oppress someone weaker or someone else. So our audience came to the gymnasium with the intention to hackle us, to, in a way, oppress us, to make fun of us, to make themselves feel like, hey, I'm here, you're there, point your toes, the amazing part is that after every performance, I would never go with the dancers to our performance. I would walk with the audience members because I enjoyed hearing the heckling and, yeah, I'm kind of weird. I enjoyed hearing that and the jokes and all that stuff. But I was always amazed to see the same person who was just making fun of my friends and myself come and shake each of our hands and thank us for opening up a door for him to see something different. That to me is the most amazing part of it. Not so much that I or we can transform ourselves through art and dance, but that we can also help transform others just by doing our thing.
We're able to take just one more question. Just one more. Can you put your hand?
Okay. How do you feel when you're asked to perform? Like, is it honorable still, or is it kind of just normal?
You say something, please.
Okay, when I was told that I was going to perform, I think about a week and a half ago, Noel called me and he said, we have a venue, we're going to invite you to
Mind talking to my shirt?
Theological Seminary. And I was okay, no problem, you know. But it wasn't until today that the reality of being here really set in. And I remember when I got to my friend Kevin's house, you know, I told his brother Jesse and I told him, I said, I'm real nervous. You know, and I called Joanna, who's here right now, and, you know, I told her that I felt a lot of fear, a little bit of anxiety. And she said, well, you performed around hardened criminals, you'll be all right. So, you know, I think today was the most I ever been fearful of performing. In my performing career, if you want to call it, from inside prison, I've been doing arts for about 9 years. Today, I really felt the fear factor. And it's because I really wanted to do well.
That's it, everybody. This was yet another performance of Figs in Flight Released. Looking forward to perform in the future again, and stay in contact with Figs in Flight Released on Facebook. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.